Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Today we have a review of Flagship Pomade Company's Dead Seas Clay. And so I can imagine the first thing on your guys' mind is, how does this product compare to Prelude? And I guess if we were to describe Prelude as I guess the best metaphor would be a kind of super tuned out, cat delete, roll cage, stiff suspension, just like street illegal car. Like Dead Seas Clay would be your kind of like your Miata, lowered, stanced out, still soft enough to kind of take bumps in the road. Your daily driver, your street legal, cat still there, kind of still like replace cat bag, kind of tuned out engine. I would still say kind of like turbocharged, but like street legal, daily driver, kind of. I wouldn't want to say it's like a more moderated version, but something that is a little more intuitive, a little less to the extreme, a little less texture, a little more intuitive to use. And so that's how I would kind of describe it, and that is the advantage of this product. And so we'll go in and talk more about that, but of course we'll start off by looking at the jar. This is it. This is Flagship Dead Sea Clay, and you have a label on a glass jar, metal like lid, kind of sticking to the traditional kind of like the jar that we've been accustomed to with Flagship Pomade Company. 4 ounces, very well designed overall. I remember when I first saw the design work, it was like, alright, it's alright and stuff like that, but like over time it's like any other home brewer has gotten better and better. And opening it up, you can kind of see the clay inside, and it has that kind of familiar neutral earth tone that we all know with like many clays, but this one definitely has a lot more like grayish, darker tone than some of the other salon brands that we typically see. But let's go ahead and start using it. And the smell of this like clay is, oh man, what is that? I didn't when I was trying out this pomade, I just picked up a new note today that I didn't kind of smell yesterday. I guess with a fresh nose this morning. I would say kind of like a rosemary. I almost feel this like black pepper-esque type of smell too. And I would say basically it's like a herby. The rosemary is not fresh like lavender, but it has this like kind of clean and yet like bite to it, and that I think it's black pepper. It smells a lot like black pepper, but overall it's like a spicy bite, like herbish type of smell, kind of sticking to the herby kind of smell that we typically associate with any sort of home brewer. But anyways, scooping out this clay is very easy. Like, I was actually very surprised. And now, like on the home brewer market, we see a lot of clays now, as I predicted like over a year ago. As time progressed, like we've seen the arrival of many new clays, and I mean, thankfully so. It's like what I use most of the time on the market anyways. For example, we have the Lockhart's matte clay, and then we have the Sheer Revival American Gardens. Then we also have, what else is totally, my mind's blank. We have a new one from like Anchors. We have, there are quite a few on the market now, and definitely many more like on the way. And my most recent collab with Flagship Prelude was obviously a clay, and my upcoming one with Sheer Revival is also a clay. Clays are just very versatile, and working with Flagship on Prelude was very nice because he just ended up having a magic touch for clay. And it's no different for this one right here, where this is still a water-based clay. And so we'll really try to focus in on distinctions between like this product versus Prelude. Because this one, like, definitely, I would say it scoops out a little more easily, applies a little more easily, not as much grip. But at the same time, we'll see the differences also in the performance, because there's a reason why Prelude scoops out all grippy and is like overly strong, whereas this one has its ups and downs, but at the same time, you can never deny, or we on the Pomp will never deny, the advantages of a well-balanced product. But okay, with that done, we'll go ahead and start combing things back, making sure it's evenly distributed. Unlike many of the other clays we've used and reviewed here on the Pomp, like this one's actually really easy to comb back, and it's not like discomforting at all, which is very surprising. Alright, so go ahead and start styling now. And so we'll go ahead and call it done. And what's really important to notice is like kind of how this product moves as I hand comb it, because it's not just fully texture that we're seeing at play here. There is a balancing between kind of slickness, a stickiness, versus like the texture battling out, so that like you get texture on like kind of the groups of like follicles level, but not on like the individual hair follicles like separating, so you don't just get a complete mess, but more of like a controlled, a kind of managed madness. And that's what we see done really well here. And what we see is like really good shape, really good height, definitely like a firm hold kind of product. Kind of the weight, I would say more as like a medium, like you definitely feel it. With the exception of Prelude, often with the Flagship, you feel this really like dense product. And you kind of see this in like each of the way like each home brewer cooks their pomade. Some more greasy and slick, some like really strangely light yet kind of firm. But kind of with Flagship, you can always really expect something dense, firm, resilient, strong. And I mean, like any other weekend, I'm going on a hike today once again, and so I'm dressed for it. And also for hair stuff, I either stick with a clay or wear a hat. I don't do anything else if it's going to be a hiking day, just because a clay stays clean. This one, I already used it before. I know it's going to stay clean. I know it's something that I can actually do some like moderate physical activity with. And I mean, yeah, this is the choice. And I'll showcase to you guys once I come back in a few hours how it kind of like endures, when I'm able to restyle it, what it's like to restyle later in the day. But yeah, so kind of to go over things again. Consistency, really nice soft kind of paste in the jar. Applying it, very easy, surprisingly easy actually. The shine, definitely like a neutral, maybe like a hint of mattness, I would say. Kind of texture, it's very good moderated texture. So like Prelude provides lots of texture, most texture, like definitely on that side of the spectrum. But this one's a little more balanced, taking it a little more to like back towards the middle, not all the way towards the middle at all, but still like a good controlled texture, something that's very intuitive and natural to use, even if you're only accustomed to normal like traditional pomades. But the strength firm, which all then makes the control very intuitive to use, even for a clay, which is always less on the intuitive side. But go throughout the whole day now, and then we'll come back later. So peace. So let's go ahead and talk about how this pomade fared throughout the day. So I mean, it was pretty damn cold. We're talking like, I mean, by California standards, it was like low 40s today, sun like totally out, but it's just a really chilly day. And so what we really kind of tested out is just kind of many hours into the day. I mean, it was a hike, but I wasn't sweating, so it was really just like really windy, cold, and kind of just sunny. So we really want to see just not whether this pomade melted, but kind of what does it do during the day. Does it like kind of evaporate? Does it kind of get absorbed into hair, or does it persist? And for the most part, like Flagship pomade company's Dead Seas clay persists. I mean, I didn't put much to begin with, and so we always had a loose-ish type of pomp. We did lose some volume. This is it restyled. Ignore my sides, I'm really overdue for a haircut, but what we can really see is like a product that's like definitely still there and like definitely still restylable. You can't get as much volume anymore, and in all honest truth, you have a product that kind of loses a bit of the textureness and kind of take on more of a pomade kind of feel. That's kind of what I noticed. It happened to me yesterday as well. It's very small, very like, you have to be pretty damn like detail oriented or kind of like really be paying attention to really notice, but it's just something I noticed and stuff I have to take into account for reviewing for you guys. But I mean, the shine is still like, I would say really at neutral now. The weight still feels like a medium weight, and like you can still get like a good look out of it. Like it's like totally fine. What we really notice is kind of like the loss of like volume. Restyling it, the fact that it persists, like with Flagship Pomade Company products, we always notice a product persisting. Then this carries on to kind of like trying to wash it out. So it's like twofold. If it's really resilient during the day and enduring, it also endures during the showers, which makes it harder to remove. And so you kind of do a balancing act there. And so washing it out, you cannot wash this one out with just water. You do need shampoo for sure, and you do need a scrub. But if you do that, it will wash out in one go. And so like, I guess like overall, yes, this receives my seal of approval, and I do believe this is something you have to try. It might be a little late to get this like before Christmas if this is like kind of something you want to get someone, but I mean, I don't know. This is just a guess. You can check out the Flagship Pomade like website for that. But like, this is a must-try product. It's kind of a good balance between, I would say, the Baxter clay, the Lockhart's matte clay, and kind of like a daily driver type of product versus Prelude, which is like very strong, very textured, like just very extreme, super everything. Whereas this one's more like a very much a balanced product. Good texture, good hold, and just good comfort and like a damn good price. And so like, I consider this a product that is definitely something that should be like kind of tested out by you. And it's something that is definitely one of like the better clays we have from the homebrew community. And of course, as with many of the other major and my favorite homebrewers, we have a promo code for you guys. With Flagship Pomade Company, it's MOSTBASED, all caps, one word, MOSTBASED. And that will save you some money on an already very affordable product, on actually any of the Flagship products. But yes, this is something I consider that is a must try. It is definitely something that I would consider like a good daily driver. If I'm just kind of confused trying to think about what I want to use for the day, this is something that would just be a simple go-to. So yes, my seal of approval, would highly recommend. But that's it, and hopefully we'll see you guys again in the near future. Hope you guys got something out of this review, and peace.